Only tempted by chocolate. Right, we're going to talk about Chelsea's clash with City, which obviously rounds out the weekend's action, but is the headline. Let's hear from both managers, starting with Mauricio Pochettino on meeting Pep Guardiola again.
Good afternoon, Pep. Next up for you is a trip to an improving Chelsea. I think it's one defeat in their last 5 Premier League games. What have you made of them under Mauricio Pochettino, and what are you expecting from them?
I'm not there, so it's normal. Though it's getting better, every manager needs his time, so new club, new players, but sooner or later, and I guess sooner than later, will be top, be a contender, because the quality in all departments are there.
I want to focus on Rico Lewis. He's become a real key member of your first team squad. How much are you pleased with his progress, and how far can he go?
If he was a little bit taller, will be considered one of the best players in the Premier League. The problem is you have this so small. He's an exceptional player. So. And his contribution since last season arrived and started to settle with us. Every game I played in high standards in all departments, defensively, offensively, understand the game, the movements. We are really pleased for academy players. Can be a regular player. He's already a regular player in many moments. So we are really pleased.
And just finally from me, is your team this season, and this is going to sound a silly question, playing better than the team that won the treble last season?
No, I don't know. The team last season played really good, in the previous season as well, So consistency defines a little bit this type of group or this period together. So I'm not going to undermine and underestimate the previous teams, even the first season, the second season, when we had 100 points. Like in every season, little details change, but the mentality and the consistency have been there.
Hi, Pep. Couple of days, I guess, to assess him. How is John Stones? What's the diagnosis?
He's injured. He's not ready for tomorrow, and we'll see when we come back from the international break.
Is it possible for the Liverpool game, for example?
I don't know.
Who do you look to fill the John Stones role? You said on Tuesday night you are in trouble when he's missing the way he helps knit the team together. Who do you look to fill that role?
The partnership with Rodri, especially last season, and the defined moments of the last season have been one of the key points for us. But unfortunately, this season we could use him not much for his injuries. But now it's time to reflect what we have to do. We can do better to don't be reincident, and when we come back, be consistent in terms of being ready to be used.
How's Manuel Akanji as well?
Yeah, good.
Good for Sunday.
Yeah. We trained today and trained good.
Finally, just one on Cole Palmer. Since he left, he wanted game time. That's one of the reasons he said that he left. He's seemingly making it work. Have you managed to watch much of him at Chelsea? Really pleased. So the reason why was that when a game time, he has it. So congratulations. So he's a guy. He came from the academy. Is having success is because it's good for him, and wish him the best.
Yeah, just on Cole, Pep. Do you feel it's a shame that he's no longer here when he's obviously doing quite well at Chelsea?
Yeah, congratulations for Chelsea, for him.
And on another Chelsea player, Raheem Sterling, who you worked with for a number of years. Did you feel? Are you surprised that that there's no place for him in the England squad at the moment?
He's playing really good. He's back in his best moments, best performance, what I've seen lately. So always create incredible dangers for the opponents. What he has done here with us for many, many years, part of the big success we had in the early years together. Raheem was really, really important.
I understand it's still early, but you said no to the Liverpool game. Have you got in your mind any idea when Stones is coming back? Is it as bad as you first thought? Because you were pretty down about it.
No.
It's not as bad as first thought.
The doctor said to me it's not as bad, but still, I don't know. I don't want to install or create tempo. When he's going to be fit again, and he's going to come back.
Gareth Southgate talked yesterday about those players not getting regular game time. There's just this game and the one camp before the Euros. Calvin Phillips, one of those names that was talked about again. How much of an opportunity does he now maybe have with a number of your side injured?
It's normal, the situation from Gareth, but he have a lot of confidence with Calvin, and we are really pleased with that. I said many times he deserves the best, and it's normal that he wants players for the national team that play regularly. This is normal. But in the other cases, there are many national team managers that when rely on one player, it doesn't matter play a lot or not, you rely on, and this is the key point.
Hi Pep, you said a lot recently the football isn't copy-paste and you can't just get one player to do another. In terms of John's injury and that partnership with Rodri and having the extra man in midfield, do you think it is something that Josko Gvardiol could do maybe eventually? It seems like he's got similar characteristics to be able to do that.
Yeah, maybe, but I didn't prove it in the training session and in some drills that we do to see how you move in a position more central. I didn't see it, so maybe in the future, because he's 21 years old, I can do it. In the beginning when we arrived, we could not expect that John could do that. And after did it, the fact that John can do it is because have been 8 years together and many examples of trainings or concepts is there. So at the end, Josko is just 2-3 months, 4 months with us, so we need even more time.
And I was speaking to Matthias Manner yesterday, I believe. Matthias Manner, the Argentinian, he's the analyst for them. He said to mention his name, you might enjoy it. We were talking about Julian Alvarez's best position, because for Argentina in the last international break, he played with Lautaro Martinez up front. Obviously, he's played a few different positions for you. What do you think is his best position and why?
I can play a striker behind the striker, central position, close to the box, to help you for the first intense high pressing. And after he moved really every time much better in the pockets, but normally it's a 9, but can play like a second striker behind Erling in that case. So in Argentina, like play with Messi, can play more forward, like alongside, same like Lautaro, but he can play in central positions. He's adapting really well.
Yeah, of course, I think all started when he was playing in Barcelona. I was playing in Espanyol de Barcelona, and that is make it special. But I think it's more special because he's one of the best or the best coach on the world, and always is a challenge to play against, him and the team that he's coaching, no? And because I know and we know really well the coaching staff that is amazing also. Always is a fantastic challenge, and it's a joy to face a team, a club that is Pep, ahead, and is it's special because of that, no? And then too many memories. I think some good memories, some not so good, But I think it's a pleasure. And it's going to be really nice to have the opportunity to face in a game like Chelsea City, Sunday, and it's going to be, really nice to be involved again on the game in UK, in the Premier League, and in a place like Stamford Bridge that is always fantastic to play.
It's an opportunity for Cole Palmer to deliver a statement performance. 3 goals, 5 assists in his last 5 games. How has he been able to deliver so quickly?
Yes, I think he's a clever guy that adapts really quick, I think. And I think we are a team that information, we are building the team, and I think he take the advantage and was so clever to see the situation and take and show character, personality, and then good performance. Yes, we are so happy with him, and still he need to improve. But I think it's also special for him to play again his former teammate and club. And I think we trust on him, and he's still young, but he need to improve. But he's showing great quality.
Another player who's been in good form is Raheem Sterling. Were you surprised that he was omitted again from the England
Look, it's difficult to talk because I don't want to say nothing that going again. The decision, because I think it's my colleague Gareth, and for sure you need to respect his decision. Only what I can tell is Raheem, but not only Raheem, Rice and all the English players are desperate to go to the national team because they really love to be involved in the national team. And yes, sometimes they feel disappointed because they are not, but the only way to change the situation is really working hard in your club and showing that you deserve to be there and respect the decision of the coach. But they are desperate to be involved, with the national team. They really like to go, but it's not in your hands. It's in your hands to perform, but not after the decision.
On Raheem, is there any sort of concern or worry that he could face an FA ban for throwing an object back into
I hear something, to be honest, but we cannot find, nothing. That is why we are quiet and calm and relaxed, because hope that nothing going on and was nothing, an action that maybe was to punish, him. But I think I didn't see nothing, Monday night.
Just to close off on Reece James, do you think he's being smart by being cautious and trying to recover well and giving his body a chance to breathe and not going on international duty?
Who was smart? The decision, Reece, or who? No, I don't.
Yeah,
tell me.
His decision, Reece's decision.
Well, I think never is the decision of the player. It's about to assess, and because the medical staff, the sports science, and the coaching staff, we always take decisions, not the players, because the player cannot assess themselves. They can sometimes feel something, or I don't know, but he's desperate to go to the national team. And I think it's only after I think it's good from the national team and then with the communication with the club is to take the best decision for the player and for the national team and for Chelsea also, but not is a decision of Reece. Reece is desperate to go. He want to go, but I think that always is two parts. Is the national team and the club. I think that take the best decision for him. And after all these problems, and now I start to feel fit again. I think I am happy that he's going to be with us because it's too weak to work with him again, and for sure he will have the opportunity to join the national team in the future.
Alex, PLP.
Hi, Mauricio. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
4 days on from that crazy game on Monday night, you had time to reflect on
But
it.
why crazy? Why crazy?
Just your average game, wasn't it? What have you taken from that performance, and just how much did
I learned a lot from the Battle of the Bridge. Remember, I said it was 7 years ago. I got a lot of criticize. I remember after the 2-2 on this game, because too many people say to me that was my fault because I don't give, or don't teach the player into how need to behave, and to control the emotion in a game like this. I learned a lot. I think that what I can say that this type of game is about our technique is players. It's about the form. It's about the approach of the game. It's about how you prepare the game. It's about too many things, and also it's about to control the emotion. Because I think one thing that we need to say that my player managed really well is the control of the emotion. When to be honest, we played 10, 12 minutes. Not in a good way, how we want it. I think when we conceded the goal, I think it was a big hit for us. We were in shock a little bit, and I think we provide them the possibility to play and maybe create one chance. But after this moment, I think we start to control the game, and then 11 by 11, we create chances, goal that disallowed. But on the end, we force them to make a mistake, like I told before, and I think we played 120 million. I said million. I am with 120 million. Minutes. Lapsus. And I think we deserve to win. And yes, crazy but fair, because in all the decision, and the VAR was fair. Tell me one decision that was not fair. And even I think few decisions more that Tottenham was lucky in some decision. I think if we can say something that the VAR was against us, no, for us. And when you watch the game again and try to learn from the game, I think Tottenham was very lucky that because we finished only with 2, less than us. And the result, of course.
Ooh, Chelsea will be fighting for the title sooner or later. Very interesting comment from Pep there.
Yeah, I think it is, but I can kind of see it. I think when I've seen their upside this season, it's one that makes me believe, especially with the young team that they have throughout most of the segments of the field, I think they can get better. I think seeing in that Spurs game as well, I thought it was a very good coaching job by Pochettino. So I'm a Chelsea believer, but historically I've said this for last year on this show. So sometimes that hasn't worked out, but this time I think they are here for real.
Yeah, absolutely. What a chaotic match. Even in a league where we've seen it all. Yeah. We didn't expect to see that.
Well, we were talking about this before the show, and really I want to defer to Ned, because I think there is a perception that Postecoglou was too high risk. But Spurs now have an identity, and their identity is very much attack-minded. But when you talk about coaching, well, I'll let you describe it, because it was a good...
From, you're talking about the Pochettino standpoint?
Yeah.
So the way that Chelsea played throughout this season, for the last years as well, they will move the ball well, they move it quickly, they might stretch the game. But in that Spurs game, as soon as they saw that Spurs had a weakness in terms of the space they had in behind, look how many times they played into it. I think there was a criticism in terms of some people about timing of the run. But the fact they kept doing it over and over and over and over, I think that's credit to a manager and a bunch of players that stick to the game plan. It's in the same way that, Spurs decided to stand on the halfway line to be aggressive together. And I was more impressed from that standpoint, because you could see both sets of players were so well coached that they stuck to the manager's plan. The downside is, though, I think most people don't want to have a line that's that high from the outside. But the fact is, as people were saying with the Postecoglou bit there, why should he change his plan when the plan is one which the players buy into, which brought them success to this point, and clearly people are enjoying doing it because they keep doing it over and over.
I want to talk more about Chelsea, especially with Cole Palmer, and focusing on him facing City this weekend. He is now the penalty taker at the Blues. When did that happen?
When he took responsibility, and that's what you like from young players. You've just come to a club. There are more established talents at the club. He wrestled the ball away, didn't he, the other week to take it. I like that from a footballer. No matter how young you are, I seem to take it. I like that from a footballer, no matter how young you are. I seem to remember at Chelsea a young John Terry going into a defensive line with Frank Leboeuf and Marcel Desailly and basically saying, no, I don't care if I'm a teenager, I have the right to be here. That's what you want to see from future stars. And I think as far as Palmer's concerned, not only has he shown his willingness to do that kind of thing, but on the ball he's been fantastic in terms of taking responsibility, making things happen, bringing other people into the play. And I think that he is a big part of the reason why Sterling and Jackson and all of the other individual talents in that forward line who haven't quite hit the ground running, they're starting to find their stride.
Yeah, to be fair, Jackson did get a hat-trick in that game as well. That was a big headline.
Oh, it was a very, very big headline. I think he's received a lot of criticism for the chances that he's missed, but when you can score in the Premier League, that's great. But to score 3, especially against your biggest, you said the biggest rivals, against their biggest rivals, and he was persistent. He made some really good runs in behind. I think he had a goal chalked off as well. So I feel like we're watching the same highlight here. But he had a very big part in this game, and that's what you want from your strikers: forever testing the line, and then more often than not, on this particular day, making the right decision. Accidentally sitting Vicario down there, but that's what you need. He's a young player as well. You want to get your legs under you in the Premier League to be scoring goals, celebration. But he looks like he's enjoying scoring, enjoying being part of that team, and I think he'll be getting better as well.
Just off the back of that, I did like that third goal because he'd got through that back line twice previously. But on the third one, there's a little bit of swagger there, and you could see a little bit of confidence coming back into his game after there had been a game, I think, a couple of weeks ago where Pochettino had to basically get him physically,
just shake
him because a fan had given him some stick and it looked like it got into his head. But this I love. I love personality. As someone very famous once said, personality goes a long way. And I think as far as he is concerned, once you start to get that into his game, a lot of things are going to start to come naturally, as you were saying.
When you're talking about swagger, though, I think Doku has that in spades. I think he's just different. He gives a different outlet to City, and the way in which he is doing those
the
tricks with the
gritties
ball
and skills, everything. Yeah,
yeah.
he's on fire at the moment, and I think the people at City really love him because, as you said, he is different. I think for everything that they've had to this point, some of the people that can maybe go past the player, like Jack Grealish might glide past someone, Bernardo Silva similar. With Doku, he'll really take it to whoever he's up against. And I think he's very, very keen to be positive with everything that he does. And that gets the crowd up off their seats. I think that's what, you know, fans love to see. I can't even begin to think who he's reminiscent of, say, in this City side now, but and this ball as well. Mamma mia, look at that. That's delightful.
Fabulous, isn't it?
You can see he's a young player that's in great form, and he looks like he's going to be a great sign of City in the long term.
Yeah, 5 goal involvements in that game. 1 goal and 4
goals,
assists.
1 assist, yeah.
Yeah, the first City player to have 4 assists in a Premier League game.
And a
I know you know that
fabulous
stat. The stat
Numbers
man.
is my thing. Listen, this could be the 6th time this season City have scored twice in a match. And as well as Chelsea have done offensively, defensively, there are still cracks in that armour. And I think as far as City are concerned, they could take it. They started the season superbly. 6 wins in a row, one of their best starts to the season ever under Pep Guardiola. But then they had a little bump in a row, 3 defeats in 4. But now they're back in the groove again. 5 wins in a row in the Champions League. They were bloodless in midweek against Young Boys. And you know what I think could be key in this match? The return of Rodri. He was rested in midweek, didn't play in the Champions League. For a match like this, with Caicedo in midfield and Gallagher and Enzo and all of those.
Thinking about this game now.
Yeah,
he sold that to me. I'm sure they're good. Yeah.
Well, this game is just before the international break, but then when we come back, City's next couple of fixtures are not really kind. They're tough. There's Chelsea, as mentioned, on Sunday. Then there's Liverpool, Tottenham, Aston Villa as well. Tricky run to come back after the
Yeah,
break.
but don't get me wrong, it is tricky. I think one thing to say is that City playing at home, they fancy themselves against anybody. I think they've beaten so many big teams across the years.
Yeah.
And they know that if you want to be successful in this Premier League chase, you have to go and play well against these other sides. It's not definitive, but it is key. And this is inevitable. I think the start of the season that they had, there were some teams who aren't in the best positions now. Yeah. But this is the test for them. And this is a side that's won the league so many times in recent years that, you know, they'll have the belief they can go and win against anybody.
Chelsea haven't even scored against City since 2021.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
No, there
Because
we
it's
go.
facts.
Let's just put the mockers on it now.
Yeah, see,
It's
this is
gonna
it.
happen.
Everyone blame Julia when it goes the other way, yeah.
It's facts. It's true, though. City have won the last, 4? I know you know the numbers. The last 4, 1-0 or something.
Yeah, but here's the difference this time around. I think City defensively are so good, so organised. The interesting thing about City's run so far this season is that they're normally this good in the second half of the season. Normally in the first half of the season, they're kind of finding their way, plotting their way through. And I've said this before on the show. What's really impressed me about this City side this season is their attitude. They were treble winners last season. They were bloodless winners of the Premier League, and the Champions League, of course, is their holy grail. They've always wanted to win that. But they turned up for work at the start of this season, ready to run for their lives. And they had such a wonderful start to the campaign. They've scored goals for fun. And yes, I pointed to that little bump in the road that they had, but they're back on it now. Erling Haaland now, 7 in his last, 6 games.
He's doing okay, yeah.
He's doing okay. He's doing okay. Came off at half-time last weekend.
Yes.
Came off after an hour in midweek. I think he's ready for the full 90 this weekend, and that could be a problem for Chelsea.
We're going to focus on the 90 minutes at the Emirates Stadium, though.
Here's Derek Ray, joined for commentary by former England international Lee Dixon. And if the game is as enticing on the pitch as it looks on paper, we're not going to be disappointed. It's Wigan Athletic facing Manchester City.
Yeah, thanks, Derek. Looking forward to a bright, lively...
And in with a real chance. Able to clear the danger, at least for now. Keane. Evans. Evans. Cross towards that far post. Well, cleared away over the byline, and a corner kick to come. Kevin De Bruyne, one of the complete midfield players in the modern game. Lee, what do you expect we'll see from him in this match?
Well, when you're playing against a player, sometimes you're trying to look at what his qualities are. Is he a good hold-up player? Is he quick? Is he this? Is he that? But when somebody tells you he's a finisher, you know you're in big trouble.
Foden. Gundogan. Happy to take on the shot. Simple catch, really. An example of how to press. Well, foul play, says the referee. Keane. It's a weighted pass. And failed to keep himself onside, unfortunately. De Bruyne. Gabriel Jesus now. It's still there for him. Not testing the keeper at all with that effort. And taking it away. Keane. Oh, in with a chance. Can he find the net? And it's in! 1-0. They breached the defence.
Well, as we look at this again, the keeper's every right to ask where his back line was, but 2v1 in the end. He's thinking now, is he going to pass or go round me? He's got no chance.